Kalka-Shimla Railway is a 2-foot 6-in, 762 nm, narrow-gauge railway in North India which traverses a mostly mountainous route from Kalka to Shimla. It is known for dramatic views of the hills and surrounding villages. The railway was built under the direction of Herbert Septimus Harrington between 1898 and 1903 to connect Shimla, the summer capital of India during the British Raj, with the rest of the Indian rail system. Its early locomotives were manufactured by Sharp, Stewart and Company. Larger locomotives were introduced, which were manufactured by the Hunslet Engine Company. Diesel and diesel hydraulic locomotives began operation in 1955 and 1970, respectively. On the 8th of July 2008, UNESCO added the Kalka-Shimla Railway to the Mountain Railways of India World Heritage Site. Shimla was settled by the British shortly after the First Anglo-Gurkha War, is located at 7,116 feet or 2,169 meters above sea level in the foothills of the Himalayas. The idea of connecting Shimla by rail was first raised by a correspondent to the Delhi Gazette in November 1847. Shimla became the summer capital of British India in 1864, and was the headquarters of the Indian Army. This meant that twice a year it was necessary to transfer the entire government between Calcutta and Shimla by horse and ox-drawn carts. In 1891 the broad-gauge Delhi-Kalka line opened, which made the construction of a branch line up to Shimla feasible. The earliest survey was made in 1884 followed by another survey in 1885. Based on these two surveys, a project report was submitted in 1887 to the Government of British India. Fresh surveys were made in 1892, and 1893 which led to 4 alternative schemes being suggested, 2 adhesion lines 67.25 miles, 108.23 km, and 69.75 miles, 112.25 km, long and 2 rack lines. Fresh surveys were again made in 1895 from Kalka to Solan with a view to determine whether a 1 in 12 rack or 1 in 25 adhesion line should be chosen. After much debate an adhesion line was chosen in preference to a rack system. Construction of the Kalka-Shimla Railway on 2 featuring 610 nm, narrow-gauge tracks was begun by the privately funded Delhi-Ambala-Kalka Railway Company following the signing of a contract between the Secretary of State and the company on the 29th of June, 1898. Full stop. The contract specified that the line would be built without any financial aid or guarantee from the government. The government however provided the land free of charge to the company. The estimated cost of 8,678,500 rupees doubled by the time the line was opened. The chief engineer of the project was Herbert Septimus Harrington. The 95.68 kilometers, 59.45 mi, line opened for traffic on 9 November 1903 and was dedicated by Viceroy Lord Curzon. This line was further extended from Shimla to Shimla Goods, which had once housed the bullock cart office, on the 27th of June 1909, making it 96.60 kilometers, 60.02 mi. The Indian Army was skeptical about the 2-feet gauge chosen for the line and requested that a wider standard gauge be used for mountain and light strategic railways. Eventually the government agreed that the gauge was too narrow for was essentially a capital city and for military purposes. As a result, the contract with the railway company was revised on 15 November 1901 and the line gauge changed to 2 featuring 6 in, 762 nm, with the track built to date being regorged. Some sources however state the regorging wasn't undertaken until 1905. In 1905 the company took delivery of a 10-ton Cowan's Sheldon traveling crane to assist with lifting rolling stock back onto the tracks after accidents and for general track maintenance. Due to the high capital and maintenance costs and difficult working conditions, the railway was allowed to charge higher fares than on other lines. Nevertheless, the company had spent 1.65 crore rupees by 1904 with no sign of the line becoming profitable, which led to it being purchased by the government on the 1st of January 1906 for 1.71 crore rupees. Once it came under the control of the government, the line was originally managed as an independent unit from the North West Railway office in Lahore until 1926, when it was transferred to Delhi Division. Since July 1987, the line has been managed by the Ambala Division from Ambala, Kant. In 2007, the Himachal Pradesh government declared the railway a heritage property. For about a week, beginning on the 11th of September 2007, a UNESCO team visited the railway to inspect it for possible selection as a World Heritage Site. On the 8th of July 2008, it became part of the Mountain Railways of India World Heritage Site with the Darjeeling Himalayan and Nilgiri Mountain Railways. The KSR and its assets, including the stations, line and vehicles, belong to the Government of India under the Ministry of Railways. The Northern Railway handles day-to-day maintenance and management, and several programs, divisions and departments of Indian Railways are responsible for repairs. The route winds from a height of 656 meters (2,152 feet) above sea level at Kalka in the Himalayan Shivalik Hills foothills, past Dharamka, Solan, Kandagat, Teradevi, Berag, Salagra, Totu, Juto, and Summerhill, to Shimla at an altitude of 2,075 meters or 6,808 feet above sea level. The difference in height between the two ends of line is 1,419 meters or feet above sea level. Thank you for being with us in the journey. Have a nice day ahead.